It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show. It's the JaeTae Show. Greetings and welcome to the JaeTae Show.
Hey y'all, to the JaeTae Show. Good evening. Thank y'all so much for joining us for our 51st episode of the JaeTae Show. We're so glad to be here. We are recording on Sunday today, so it is the day that it will air. And we want to talk about a few things about life, about the fundraisers we have going on. The 50-50 ended yesterday.
Who won?
I won.
All right.
I'm a winner, baby. The pot was $160. So I got 80 and J Bass got 80.
Mm-hmm.
And so we still have the JVM Keys fundraiser going on, which I'm looking at, and we still got a lot of spaces that can be filled.
Mm-hmm.
So all you have to do is sell or cash out J Bass Ministries or 409-996-8791 to have your name on this beautiful flyer, this beautiful poster. This money goes towards helping Jay finish his volume 7, 8, 9, and 10.
All the above.
CD projects. So y'all please help. Looking forward to volume 7 coming out, and volume 8, 9, and 10 gonna be after that. So immediately after that. So we have a lot of work to do. We have fundraisers after fundraisers. So if y'all have ideas of fundraisers that y'all would like for us to do so that you can participate, then let us know, because we really are out of ideas and suggestions to get people to participate. So
yeah, and I think the other fundraiser, the last 50-50 was less than this one, huh? But we're going to continue to do our 50-50 because it brings in something. Somebody supports, and every little bit counts toward paying off the balance. And so I want to say thank you again to everyone who has been supporting these fundraisers. You all have helped us come a long way. I have been saying it is just such a blessing that since God has not blessed me to have the money myself, that I am surrounded by a community of people who may not support all the time. And it may, get very dry at times, but there is support. And you all have helped me come a long way with this project. We are down really to only a few $100s that we need in order to finish this project. And so we need all the support. We need all the help that we can get. It is always appreciated. I try my best, as I've posted, to say thank you often, to make sure that the community who is supporting, who is saying, J Bass, we believe in you and the music, and we want to support your fundraisers. I want to say thank you, and I'm going to continue to say thank you because I am grateful. I really am. As I've shared many times, this music is what saved my life, and it is my purpose now to get as much of it recorded and released into the earth as possible. And so thank you all again. Special thanks to JaeTae. She was the person who got the most entries in the 50-50. And so it's just right that she won because her name was in there the most. And I kept shuffling, and at times it kept on putting her name right next to each other, two by two. And so she had a very, very, very good chance of winning. And plus, we only had maybe four or five other people who had gotten entries. So anyway, and then the thing about it is, when you have someone like this who says, I believe in you, then they give you back the money and you're able to put the entire 50/50 into your project. And so I really do appreciate Shantae for her constant sacrifice for this project, for J Bass Ministries, for me personally. And so you just don't find people like that in this earth at all. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very few and far between. And so when you do, you learn again how to say thank you. And so what a blessing it was to have that. And she did mention the JBM keys. Y'all, we are so close to finishing this. Lord have mercy. I think that we are at 65 people. And so I think that leaves about 23 spots left. I have not filled in all that have purchased tickets uh, or sponsored keys, excuse me, uh, here lately, and I need to do that so that we are updated on how many keys are left. But I do believe it's about 23, and so yeah, and I believe once we get that done, we should be able to have this whole project paid off. And so thank you all. We keep sharing these things. So a lot of people ignore it, but I again thank those of you who do see and respond. Um, Shantae mentioned that we were going to talk about the conference that is coming up, the What's Next conference. This conference, really, the title is loaded because there's so many different things and thoughts that come with the thought of what's next. We've My initial thought for the conference when we said what's next was you've experienced understanding the cost of a yes. You realize now that your yes is going to cost you, and you've even been shattered because of your yes. And we've walked through how to deal with those things, how to really try and deal with that being shattered. And a lot of what came up was to trust God, to know that He is able to put us back together again. But Shantae took it to another level. And so I want to let her explain that, because we really everyone did not attend the cost of a yes conference, or the shattered the cost of a yes conference. And so everyone is not at a healed place. And so, but the question still remains, what's next?
When I hear what's next, I think about literally what's next. The conference will be in January. So
On the
I'm thinking
25th
from the 25th, so I'm thinking
at Thrive Church.
okay, at the Thrive Church. I'm thinking, okay, it's a new year. What's next? What can I do next? What's in me next to do? Um, I've attended all of the conferences before that Jay just spoke about, and I still have the question, what's next? Even though I've attended the conferences and I have, those pieces still not broken, but you know what I'm saying, still lingering. I still question myself, okay, what next? What's in me next? What can I do next? So if you have that question about yourself, your ministry, anything that you're a part of, we encourage you to come out to this conference. I really hope this time that people actually don't look at the host, the where it's located, the date, the time, but actually look at what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, what's next? And this is a personal thing. This is not a what's next for the JaeTae show, what's next in J Bass Ministries. what's next with you? It's a personal thing. So that's what I'm really hoping that y'all really just come on out and get the answers that you may have.
But you know what? When you said that, it made me think. It is including the JaeTae show. It is including the Jay Bass Today show.
What I'm saying
What
is,
are we, what in every area of our lives, personally, socially, financially, mentally, spiritually, what is next? What, every area of our lives we have something going on somewhere. And so in those areas that we have things going on, what's the next step? What's the next move? Where do you go from here? Uh, there are questions that should be answered when you're thinking about what's next, because we don't want to just make moves. We don't want to just do things to be doing them, to say that we're busy, that we're booked and busy, but are we being fruitful? Are we being productive? Is what's next something that is going to be a blessing to the kingdom, to the body of Christ? These are questions that we need to consider when we think about the conference being next. This next conference, we know based on what has happened and the experiences from the previous conferences, this is going to be a power pack conference. And so we are expecting what's next for the conference to be amazing, to be life changing, to be something exactly like the last conference, where we walk away with a word that we're literally standing on every day, that keeps coming up on a daily basis. And that one word for me was trust. And I've heard that word really, literally almost every day since we were at the cost of Shattered the Cost of a Year's conference in August. And my trust has absolutely been tested over and over and over. But I was prepared because I went to the conference. I was a host, but I was also there because I'd been shattered because of my yes. My yes cost me to be shattered and caused me to be shattered. And so we know that suffering is a part of our Christian walk. Our pastor really drilled that in today, to make sure that we understand that this is not just an easy walk. This is something that you are going to go through. But the good news is God said, "Lo, I am with you always." All you have to do is be of good courage. Be of good courage and know that He is with us. And so I just honor God. I thank Him so much in advance for the victory for this conference. We actually need to sit down and to work on the prices for the registration, and then we will have all that information for you all. Prayerfully, we will have the flyer done soon. Also, coming up in June is the graduation celebration. Yesterday we had rehearsal, and it was just JaeTae and I that showed up, which was a difference from the first two rehearsals where we at least had all three parts covered and had a really good anointed rehearsal each time. And it just seems like sometimes that these things would discourage you, and they have in the past. But I am trusting God that He is sending forth His laborers, that He is going to send forth singers who are willing to support this event, because it is a blessing for people to go through school, to put in that time, to sacrifice, to be focused enough to get through to actually achieve a diploma or a degree. That is a blessing because not everybody does it. And so we thank God for the opportunity to be in school and to have the blessings that we've seen while we've been in school in our lives. And so we honor God for that and want to celebrate this awesome occasion. And it has been opened up where anybody that is graduating, especially in Galveston County, that wants to participate and celebrate their graduation and tell the Lord thank you is more than welcome to participate. And so we've gotten our sponsorship and our souvenir book ad prices together. And so if you want that information, all you have to do, the same information that you reach out with getting your JBM Keys key sponsored is the same phone number that you can text or even call to get more information. And that number for Zelle and to call is 409-996-8791. Again, for your hearing, that is 409-996-8791. You can also cash app at $J Bass Ministries. That is $JBASS MINISTRIES. And so we thank you in advance for your support. We thank you again that you are actually tuning in and watching and seeing what is going on so that you can know how to support and be a part. I'm speaking this by faith because the numbers don't say that people are watching, that people are viewing. The numbers don't say that people are supporting really heavily. But I believe that God has people in this earth who see and who believe and who will, because they see and they believe, will support. And so we thank God in advance for the victory. Shantae, do we have anything else for the show?
Now I was looking at last week's episode,
Mm-hmm.
and we only have 3 views last
Oh,
week. So week before that we had 10. So we just
oh.
gotta, I don't know what happened from week to week.
And even from at the 50th episode, just 3 views? Wow. That's interesting. That was our big show.
Yeah,
And we've highlighted it and all of that. So hey, we the thing is,
it's recorded.
it reminds me of the book. Uh, you have to grow to the point where you know why you're doing what you're doing. If we were doing it for the views, if the views dictated whether or not we did this, we would have been stopped a long time ago. We wouldn't have made it to the 50th episode. We certainly wouldn't have made it to the 51st episode. But we keep going because, again, like Shantae said, it's recorded. And somebody could possibly come back and see this and say they have been doing this and nobody's watching, and they have made this many episodes and they're still going, and they're talking about this level of conversation about life. Oh man, let me share this with some of my friends. And then next thing we know, the videos have thousands of views, and we, because we kept going and trusting God that we are on track with what He is telling us to do. And so, y'all, that's the same thing with my music. Whether there's a lot of support or not, I am convicted to do all I can while I live and have my health and strength to release, record and release as much of this God-given music as possible. And the more I listen to it, I pulled up one song the other day and it come to mind, and I didn't realize I'd recorded as much of it as I had. it's pretty much ready to take to the studio and do some overdubs or whatever else we need to do and be done with it. I need to just add organ and drums really. And it is ready to go. Let him put some plug-ins and do some edit and it's ready. I didn't even realize I'd gone that far, but that's just how God works. That there are so many things that I've done behind the scenes that I go back and listen to these songs in the studio and my personal home studio, and I'm like, wow, I got that far. That much of the song is done. I thought I needed to map this out, but I'm done with this.
So the music is not waiting on you, it's waiting on the money.
Music is waiting on the money. And so that's what we've been saying is that it just what I love is that uh both of the guys who have mixed and mastered my projects, which are they've spent the most time on the music outside of me. After me, they're next for spending the most time on this music. That they talk about the fact of my work ethic being so strong that when I get in, I am focused, I am ready, I come in prepared. I try my best to have the singers prepared when they go in to do overdubs. And a lot of times that's why I do songs by myself, because that saves a lot of time and just being able to go ahead and get it knocked out without having to go over parts after parts after parts with people. But at the same time, it still proves the willingness to work and the focus that occurs when we actually do start working. And so if I had the money, all these projects would be paid off. And in fact, I believe they would be done by this point because we'd be working so hard and so consistently on getting it done. I have to take my time now because my belief is I don't want to go ahead of where we are financially. And we could finish and still have a balance, but that is not how I operate. I want to be able to have it paid off by the time we finish and before we finish. And that is what we're aiming to do now. I will go ahead and say that we do plan to release J Bass Songbook Volume 7. This is the first time I'm sharing this publicly at the beginning of the year. And so, truthfully, we only have a month and a half to get it done, and we still have quite a bit of mixing and mastering to do. But I know that the my co-producer and engineer in the studio is working solely on my projects now, and so that means that he is making sure that the work is getting knocked out. And so all we have to do is when I go in is make sure the voices are leveled, make sure I'm okay with the music being leveled. And then once we do that, we master, listen to the master, make sure that everything is still leveled and that nothing needs to be changed or is sticking out. Just like one track that we did. Um, I hear a young lady's voice who did overdubs in the unison part. And so we just need to go in and bring her down just a little bit, and that track is done. And that's the kind of thing that happens when you listen to it in the car or you listen to it in your headphones for those little things that may need to be tweaked. And so we are so close. We are so close to being done. And again, you can help us finish. It doesn't take much. If you give $5, that helps. That helps toward the balance being paid off. And so whatever you can do, we appreciate it. Shante, anything else?
Let's get it done, guys. This is so easy to do, literally. It's not hard. Zelle or Cash App so we can get it done.
And y'all, this is the show just because it is such a big part of this season of life. It really is. We could continue to talk about several things that we have going on, but these fundraisers and getting this city project done is really a big major thing right now. And is going to continue to be big and major until at least until through 10. I believe I'm going to take a break to really kind of figure out what 11 and 12 will be after we finish 10. But I know I have enough music already to fill two more CDs at least, if not another five. And that's with 15 songs per per volume. And so there's so much music. There's so much music, and I just thank God for the music in me. Ah, bless the name of Jesus. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of the JaeTae Show. If you ever want to be a guest, we would love to talk to you about your life and what God is doing in it, through it, the challenges that you're overcoming, and things that you see God working in your life. We would love for you to be a part. Any final words, Shantae?
Thank you so much for joining us. See you next week.
All right. God bless.
It's the JaeTae Show.